My name's Apollo Reyes. We just finished taping today's interview with Wendy. And thank you, Wendy, for having me tonight. Amazing. We had so much to talk about, what I do, where I grew up, uh, getting cancer, getting through it. It could be interesting, if people that going through the hardship right now. So it's never don't give up. That's all I can say. So and then it was a great interview. So I wish that you guys watch this. Again, thank you, Wendy and Bernard, who is crazy with all the studios. Amazing. So always a pleasure, and I wish we get to do this again in the near future. And I'm very thankful, and I hope you guys watch this on her YouTube channel, which is gonna be down below.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Christmas special of the Business Connections. So, for today's guest, I am so excited because I have this amazing guest, and we're going to be talking about photography. He's an artist and a well known photographer. Without further ado, let me introduce the one, the only Apollo Reyes.
Yay! All right. I like that. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for having me. Wow, I sound.
Thank you, Apollo.
Good,
I'm
good,
so
good.
excited.
I know, me too.
We've known each other for many, many years
Too long.
and too long, but I I treasure our friendship. Kaya
So do
naman sa our Christmas presentation at Christmas special ng The Business Connection, of course, I wanted those special people to be my guests as well.
Right?
Yes.
Diba? Yes, yes, of course, of course.
So,
Thank
Apollo
you. Yeah.
Reyes,
Yeah.
of course, di ba? Nandito ka. We're going to be talking about you.
Me.
Yes. So, saan ba
Well,
nagsimula si Apollo Reyes? Kasi for to all my TBC viewers, is si Apollo Reyes po. Akala nyo photographer lang, but he's also a known artist in the Philippines way back the 90s. So, talk about that. How you started
No.
in the business.
No, no, it wasn't the business. I think it was during the 80s. We were still in college, and we were young and stupid, and we wanted to make something of ourselves, right? And then we used to do. We got into funk. It's called funk jazz. During then, and we got good at it, and I used to choreograph, so, right? And we found ourselves dancing for Penthouse Live. Okay.
Tell
And
them what is Penthouse Live.
Penthouse
Kasi
Live.
pinapanood ko yan eh. I
Pen-
love that show
I know, right?
before. Yeah.
Yeah, it was obviously it was a live show. Sometimes it's taped, but mostly live, right? And it's all about entertainment, dance and singers, and the guests are like hindi pangkaraniwan. They're like parang social nung araw.
Yes.
And we got into that.
Sino ba yung host ng Penthouse Live?
So it was Pops Fernandez and Martin Rivera, right? So yeah, we got to hang around with them for many years, even before they got married and all that. So yeah, we go way back, and that's
So you said you started as a dancer. So how did you get into that? You're young. You said maybe not stupid. You're just
No,
trying or explore.
yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, when we were kids, we just wanted to party, right? So we got into dancing, and then of course because we wanted chicks, we wanted girls, we were young again, and we got into TV, and it's just one way, so to meet a lot of people, and we did that, and we were alternating with this another dance group called the Tigers, sila Jojo Alehar, and we were tight, we were brothers, and we would alternate. So one Sunday it would be them, then the next would be us. Ayun. And then we did that for about 3 years or something. So that was fun, rather than just, you know, doing nothing, we
Uh-huh.
got into,
But it's a big deal because getting into a Penthouse Live, not
yeah,
everyone can get into
I know.
that show. Like what you said, pang
Yeah.
social.
Yeah, cute, cute daw kami,
So
Yeah.
what was your relationship with all the crew and Pops and Martin?
Oh, yeah, no, we were tight again,
Uh-huh.
because sometimes we would go to mga out of town shoots, for example. So we got to hang around for forever, yeah, a lot of fun.
That's nice. So what
Yeah.
have you learned from that show? Because you said you stayed for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know what happens in the studio. You have the floor director and all. Before we didn't know crap about all that. But yeah, behind the scenes you get to all the. Now I can't remember the terms. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was interesting. What else did we learn? Yeah, how TV works.
Uh-huh.
And that was.
What about your relationship? Are you still tight with those people?
Oh,
Like, you still
it,
have a good relationship with them?
we still hook up or we still chat. We still know each other. We haven't forgotten each other. Because
Uh-huh.
I think when something happens to you profoundly, at a certain age, you don't forget, right? In the people around you and everything.
Yes.
So us, we grew up together.
Nice.
So we still try and keep in touch. So it's all good. Yeah.
Nice. So now we're gonna talk about yung being a photographer. How did you get into that world? And were you doing that in the Philippines or you started here in the US?
No, so after I think it was during the Marcos when he fled the country. All my parents were living in Hong Kong, and so during the rally, diba? And the place was chaotic, and my parents were in Hong Kong, and so they decided, why don't you fly here during summer, spend summer here in Hong Kong, and because it's dangerous out there. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I went. They got me a one-way ticket, not knowing that they didn't plan to send me back, right?
That's why it's one-way ticket.
Yeah. So I lived there for 3 years, I think, before I managed to get to fly back home. So within those 3 years, I work at Toys R Us. That's the first Toys R Us in out of the U.S. And yeah, that was in Hong Kong. So I worked there, and then after 3 years, I managed to get back, on just a vacation, and eventually, you know, those 3 years, a lot of things happened, and it's become my home now.
Uh-huh.
So I go back to Hong Kong, and then I lived there forever.
And then,
I was there for altogether, I think, 25 years.
doon na ba nag-start mo yung photography mo?
No. Oh,
Not
well,
yet.
kind of, well, not really.
Not yet.
Right there, I later on I worked for a yachting magazine, and it's called Fragrant Harbor. So I used to lay the magazine out, but not the photos and all. And my boss would be the one to shoot the models, or we get them all on a yacht. He shoots, and then we get the materials. I'll lay it out in the magazine, and that was my job. And then, but already, some pictures I would like change the color, maybe, adjust it. And during then, it wasn't even Photoshop, or maybe it was. So, but I was starting to enjoy it already. Like, oh, you can actually alter, because it's digital, right? And yeah, I got into it, and then next thing I know, I was editing photos, and then what you call this? Oh, that's when I flew to the U.S. actually.
To the US. So your job is an editor when you got
Yeah,
here?
I
in the
was.
Phil-
In Hong Kong, I was my title was. I can't even remember. Production manager. Oh, production editor. Yeah,
Production
yeah, yeah.
editor. So when you moved here
So
to the
when
US,
so I moved here. That's another long story. Why? Oh well,
it's okay. It's
right.
Christmas. It
Yeah,
should
I
be
know.
like fun.
Right, I know, I know. I moved here. Um, I don't
What was
even.
the biggest break na lang
I,
when you uh,
I don't even remember where to
he
start.
doesn't want to tell you a story.
What? No. What? No.
I was just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nung nandito ka na,
Mm, yeah.
nag-move ka dito from being a production editor.
Yeah.
So kailan talaga nag-start tong being a photographer? Kasi
Oh.
like right now,
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of your work.
Yeah.
You don't only work with Filipinos,
Yeah.
talagang main
Yeah.
alam mo yon,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
mainstream. And I know I saw a lot of cover ng magazine, even
Wow.
in Orange County. That's why I'm
Right.
so proud of you.
Diba? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so how did you get into that? And paano ba
Oh.
talaga? Yes.
So like I said, I used to love editing.
Mm-hmm.
So and then Facebook came out, diba? And everyone had their profile picture, diba? So I would grab that profile picture sometimes. Obviously, that's your favorite picture. That's why you use it as your profile picture,
Yes.
right? So I would grab that. I would play with it because I would look at a photo. I'm thinking, this can still go a long way. It's like it's nicely shot, but maybe just touch up a bit here and there, and it'll be 10 times better. So I would do that, and then I'll mess around with it, and then I'll send it back to you, for example, and they're like, "Whoa, wow," and they will use that photo forever, because
Yes.
right, and then I knew some photographers, and they would say, "Why don't you invest on a pro camera?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I was just using my iPhone, and then I got sick, you know.
Yes, I want to ask you about
Yeah.
that thing because
Yeah.
that's a very sensitive
It's
matter.
okay.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people that are watching maybe can also learn something from you. I know there's one thing that really changed your life, and that's when you were diagnosed of cancer.
Yes.
Let's talk about that one.
Right.
So, what really
I know.
happens on that, and how did you, go through
Oh,
and went through those
I know. That was
hard
crazy.
times? Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was diagnosed with cancer. It was called submandibular gland. So it was like right here. So when you have that kulani, that lymph node,
Yeah.
and it's swollen, and it stayed there for forever, but it didn't hurt. So all along I thought, I'm fine, but it grew ever so slowly, but yet it doesn't hurt. It doesn't bother me. But to the point where I look huge already on this side, so I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna have this removed. So that's when they found out, when they checked me up. Oh, at first they didn't know because I didn't have much money. I would just go to the county hospital, and I did that biopsy, and they didn't see it. So for half a year, I'm like, well, I'm okay. And then after half a year, I went for another check because I think by this time I really wanted it out. So they did another biopsy, and then right away they called me the next day or two. Like, and I already like, oh shit, it's like really urgent. So I went, and then the doctor like, Mr. Reyes, don't you realize you have cancer? I'm like, da-da. Um, so, and then well, I didn't know yet how bad it was. Um, but when you're diagnosed with it, you don't really care what stage you're in. All you care is, do I live through this or do I die?
So that's the only two questions that's
Yeah.
in your mind.
Yeah. So I had a meeting with one oncologist, and then I just asked him, hey doc, so how bad is it? Can you fix me?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, we're gonna have to fix you, but it's gonna be a long journey, and I'm gonna need you by my side to do this together. We're gonna overcome this. But are you down with this? Okay, let's do this. So we did this, and then yeah, I did the whole routine.
So you had a surgery.
Yeah.
Second is you did you also have chemo and
Oh,
radiation?
well, at first they will,
Mm.
since they were gonna operate me here. I think so they're already looking ahead. Okay, you're gonna go through radiation and chemo, right? Oh, sorry. And once you go through radiation, and they're gonna hit me with the
Yeah.
radiation in my head, like a head cancer patient, they call it.
Yeah.
Um, it's gonna cook your mouth.
Yes.
So they're gonna ask me, do you think in the coming months you're ready for a feeding tube? I'm like, why? Oh, because your mouth is gonna be out.
Yeah.
It's raw,
Uh-huh.
and you can still use it to eat, but it's gonna be torture.
Yes.
Drinking water is like drinking shattered glass.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it's crazy. So, and yeah, you go through. You try to decide, do I want a tube right here? I'm like, yeah, what else? Oh, and also we have to fix your mouth. We don't want any cavities, at least. So full dental. They
Checkup
Yeah, and then they fix
because of
whatever.
the infection as well.
No, because once you go through radiation, you're bound for having dry mouth.
Yeah.
And when you have dry mouth, yeah, if your teeth are not fixed, or there's a lot of cavities or whatever, it'll rot fast.
Yeah.
So they move ahead and fix you before you get
Getting
your
into
dry mouth. Yeah.
yeah.
So all that things, all
So
those
how
things.
many years did it take for, the diagnosis, the treatment, and then after
Oh,
everything?
I think maybe a year and a half.
Because it's not only physically,
Oh, yeah.
it's also mentally.
Yeah.
When you were,
Oh, everything.
I spoke with you and you told me
Yeah.
how hard it is.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you hate God
Oh, yeah,
because
I
why
know.
me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Well, so when I went through the cancer, everyone thought, "Oh, poor Apollo, he's dying of cancer." Yes, but they didn't know that I was also going through a divorce.
Oh, you're going through a divorce.
Yes, and
Is
that,
it before or after?
um, well, people say I got cancer because of what happened during my wedding.
It was
It didn't work out,
depression.
and while she left, she took the kids with her and went back to Hong Kong, and I'm left here, right? And at the same time, I'm sick, not
Yeah.
not with a common cold, but
Yes.
freaking
Life
cancer.
threatening.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. So yeah, when you're not eating because you're doing chemo and radiations, you don't want to touch food. The texture of food is also horrible, by the way, because my mouth is dead. So you don't want to touch food. You're not going to eat. You're weak. You're depressed, right? So
Have you ever thought of suicidal?
well, I'm going to that.
Okay.
So when you're weak, you're not eating, you're heavily depressed, and you're heavily medicated, by the way. You're not going to think straight. And when you don't think straight, it's so easy to, right? So, yeah, I went through those phases every night, do I want to get out of it. This is the best excuse. This is the best time to leave,
Yeah.
right? Para
So
qué?
painful.
What for? So and I tell everyone the funniest thing is why I didn't kill myself. The reason is laziness, right?
Yeah. Even D was laughing when you said
I
that.
was so you know why? Because
Yeah.
I'm weak.
Yeah.
I'm drugged. I'm medicated.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything. Even although I wanted to kill myself,
Yeah.
but I'm too lazy to.
But-
I'll do it tomorrow, right?
But it never happened. Good thing.
So that's what I
Right.
would say. I'll do it tomorrow, and then I'll sleep it off, and then the next day I'll wake up. I'm okay. I go through the same routine.
Yes.
I find myself something I can force myself to eat, and then go to the hospital. I would drive myself.
Yes.
Do my radiation, whatever, and then come back home.
Wow, that's
That
amazing
was my routine.
recovery.
Yeah, I didn't have the. Have you taken your medicine
Mm-hmm.
already? I didn't have that.
Who was your support system when you're going through that challenges, life
Oh
threatening
well,
challenges?
I had some. Oh, thank God, I had some friends around at that time, and yeah, they would come by to the house, and check up on me. Sometimes bring me soup, or whatever.
Yeah,
Or yeah, just
family and friends.
yeah, um, yeah. Yeah. There was some people.
Nice.
Yeah,
So now we'll talk about
yeah,
because it's Christmas.
yeah,
So now for you,
yeah,
you're still alive
yeah,
and it's Christmas,
yeah,
'di ba?
yeah.
Parang you were parang reborn. And then what do you think of life now after your recovery?
Oh, um, fantastic. Yeah, super. I know from being I'm out of here to what was I thinking, right?
Yes.
So
What are you grateful for
oh
this Christmas?
oh actually not even Christmas, almost every
Every day,
day.
you said, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everything. I would say had I died from cancer, it would have been the worst, obviously, thing that ever happened to my life, right? But since I didn't die and I survived it, it was kind of the best thing that ever happened for me.
Was it you
To be able to say
learn?
that,
Yes.
despite you had the cancer, I was like, it's crazy. But yeah, that's how I feel because it gave me more appreciation for the little things.
For the little things.
It's like I'm so shallow, easily. I see something nice, I'm like, oh,
Actually, I
I
agree
freak
on
out.
that one. I
Yeah,
just show him food
yeah,
or like anything, and
yeah,
he appreciate everything.
everything.
Yes.
And so imagine how crazy I feel if I'm shooting someone and they just look fantastic, right? I mind blown.
So, what was your best Christmas experience? What year was that? And first thing is, what was the best Christmas?
Best Christmas? You know what? That's so hard to answer for me. Actually, for what I went through, having lost my family, there are those special days. I kind of like try to like, you know, like for example Halloween, and then I would see kids, trick or treating. Those
You
are
miss your
things I
kids.
miss being a dad.
Yes.
So I'm like the Grinch of Halloween, and then Christmas, right? Um, but yeah, I'm not pro Halloween or holiday
Uh-huh.
thingies. But Christmas, I usually don't plan because, you know, I I would just sit and then eventually I'll get someone to like, hey, we're having this or that or
Yes.
come
Uh-huh.
down.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would get a few and then I'll try to figure out, okay, which one is the best one to go to, the whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would go. So,
Because you have a lot of friends
yeah,
naman eh.
yeah,
And like every day, you always get an invite. But
yeah,
etong pag
yeah,
yung question ko is,
yeah,
what do you remember yung nasa Philippines ka about
yeah,
Christmas, di ba? Ang
yeah,
saya doon.
yeah.
So, what moment na parang it's still in your mind na
Oh,
parang you would always remember when you were celebrating Christmas doon
I,
sa Philippines?
I think for one thing that I always remember, and I don't know why, is the scent. The scent
Uh-huh.
of,
Is it the food? I'm
no,
just
no, no, the
kidding.
scent of the Christmas tree.
Oh, yes.
And
Oo.
then I don't know where do they come from in the Philippines? Baguio,
Baguio, yeah.
right?
Baguio, yeah.
But yeah, I remember we would have a Christmas tree, a real Christmas tree, and I would remember the scent, and that would it's stuck with me. Up to now.
Nice. Oh, eto na
Yeah,
lang.
yeah,
If there's one wish na lang for
yeah, yeah,
Christmas, kung binigyan ka ng isang wish,
yeah,
hindi naman kasi ako si Genie,
uh,
kaya isang wish lang,
yeah, yeah.
what would you wish for
Oh
this
man,
holiday season?
what do I wish for? What do I wish for? I don't know. I just wish for good things.
For everyone.
Yeah. 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 That's what I would wish for. I guess.
That's good.
Yeah.
Kasi, di ba, hindi naman always for ourselves eh. It's always
Yeah.
for other people that
Right.
are less fortunate than
Yes.
us.
Yes. Yes.
Just
Yes.
good. Alam niyo
Exactly.
po, ang gwapo ni Apollo sa personal. Look at him. He's wearing red just like mine. We're
I
matching.
know.
And tell me more about your
I like
shirt.
this.
I think you love the
Beatles. I
Beatles.
love the Beatles. So one story is because I used to live in Hong Kong, diba? So I go into this English pub, British, very British, and I go in for a beer, and no, they were mostly Scottish, and then the DJ goes, "Oh, I have a trivia question, and whoever gets this you know right takes home a T-shirt, a T-shirt." It was the Beatles, the Beatles, right? And I'm like sitting in the oh shit, I like that T-shirt. And then the question was, okay, the trivia question, what's the first hit song of the Beatles? Everyone was quiet, and I'm the only Pinoy in there, right? I thought you guys would know, right? But no, no one. And then I just went like this, like, oh, the little Asian guy right there in the corner.
So you won
I'm
the
like,
shirt.
it's Love Me Do. Yes.
Wow.
So I went home with a T-shirt, right?
Nice.
So yeah, that's my Beatles story.
Your Beatles story. Ang daming story ni Apollo.
yeah.
Actually, I've known Apollo for many, many years. And he's actually my official photographer
Really?
since I met him. Kasi
you,
wala
thank you,
namang photographer ako before.
Right.
And he would shoot me just in any place. Pero he has this eye na parang
Talaga?
every time, di ba? You
Yeah.
would show me the pictures. I was like, it looks like taken like in other country. Di ba?
Right? I know.
So, tell me more about that. Ano ba yung
It's-
nakikita mo? Kasi it's ano yan eh. You didn't have any formal
Yeah, no,
schooling for that.
it's
But
all,
you have this eye.
yeah. After a while,
You
you
capture great
you get your style. That's my
Yes.
style. When I'm looking at you, I'm already
Yeah.
thinking, oh, this background will look amazing when I blur it out. Something like that, and the color, the tone. I can, I already, or sometimes I think in HDR. I don't know, that's high dynamic range, and that was a bit of a fad before. I was into it. Anyway, so yeah, color wise, I just look at you. I'm like, oh, and sometimes I don't have my camera. I wish I had my camera right now. But yeah, when I started, I didn't know shit. I didn't know.
So you never went to
No.
school for that?
Yeah.
It was like self lang.
Yeah, figuring out what lens works for you or what you really like to do. Like, okay, if you're a photographer, what do you want to shoot? Do you want to shoot portraits or landscape, architecture, all that,
And you
or
chose,
street?
ang expertise mo is
Well, I gravitated more to portraits dahil
portraits.
I like beauty.
Okay,
you know?
yeah. Tell me more about that because I always see
Yeah.
beautiful people. That's why it
Yes.
says,
I
I would
know.
always get a notification.
I know, right?
Apollo
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah, really?
So yeah, beautiful, yes.
Oh yeah, I know. People want to get in there. They will like pull me in a corner. How come you haven't put me in beautiful people? Okay, or how come you haven't Apollonized me yet? Something like that. What were we talking about?
About yung business page mo, like
Oh, yeah,
how do you get on that? Is it a gift that you already have
Oh.
na maybe napag-aralan mo lang?
No, I think every day I'm always learning, even up to now. Like I shoot you today, for example, I would learn something new. Like little things, and then it never ends. It never ends. But the fun thing is, there's a lot of surprises. Like for example, I might look at you right now, and then I'm like, oh, she's looking amazing in this frame. The light and all. But when I use a certain setting for my camera, and it's even better. Sometimes like, and
What kind of parang ang gusto mong like take pictures? Is it
Yeah.
more of the indoor or outdoor? Ano ba yung talagang specialty mo?
well, I like outdoors because natural light.
Yeah.
Also, it's another excuse because I don't know shit about flash, working with the lights. So I used to say, "Oh, I'm a natural light shooter," because I didn't know shit. And then I studied, like, yeah, since I'm into this, might as well learn. So I tried, I started dabbling with the off-camera flash,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I could get like wow results. Like, oh my god,
Wow,
yeah.
results. Yeah.
And then you play. Oh, sorry, you experiment
Uh-huh.
along the way, and then you learn techniques. It never
Ever
ends.
is. How
And
long have you been doing this?
I think I don't even remember.
Uh-huh.
Maybe
Bata ka pa.
no. I think about no when I started like shooting with professional camera. I think about 5 or 6 years now.
6 years only?
Yeah,
Oh,
or five,
wow.
something. Um, but when I started, I thought, oh, I knew it all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so cool. I'm so wow. But I look at my old works. I'm like, what was I thinking?
So
Try to-
you're learning every day
yes.
talaga.
So now even if I have a new portrait out or I play with post it out there, I love it.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes I think, I wonder if I will love this the next year, because
Uh-huh.
since my style might have changed, I might have like, what were you thinking again?
Nice.
So, but yeah, my style is, I have a lot of styles. It's kind of like good and bad.
I know
Yeah.
the
'Cause sometimes, you see an artist like, oh, that's so and so.
uh-huh.
Although I ask some artists, you go, do you know if it's my work? Because
Uh-huh.
I have crazy styles here and there.
Uh-huh.
And they would say, yeah, I know, right? From the bat, I see it. Oh, this is Apollo's work.
Now, during our interview or maybe after, we're gonna show all your parang
Oh, yeah.
pictures that you took.
Uh-huh.
Even yung sa akin.
Oh, yes.
And then the rest of the
Right?
beautiful girls. By
Yeah.
the way, I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are watching our shows and our interview.
Yeah.
Why don't we also invite or you invite them where they can find you?
What- I'm on Facebook or Instagram. My Instagram is at Apollo Apollo APOLLOER. And Facebook is, I'm usually just Apollo Reyes. You'll find me there. There's only like what 10 of us from all over the world with the same name, something. But you'll find me. But mostly I'm on Instagram, and I have another page, a 500 pixel page. I drop my works all over the place every now and then. But yeah, most of the time, yeah, you can just easily grab me over in Instagram.
Or message you, di ba?
Yes.
O, nakaganito na ako. Gusto ko medyo komportable kami. Kasi parang medyo
I'm
formal, pero kenkoy po talaga to si Apollo
No,
when we go out.
it's too comfy in here. It's a really good studio, by the way.
Well, thank you to
Bernard.
Bernard, Cobalt Media.
Bernard.
Thank you.
The guy.
The guy.
I'll shoot here, okay? I like it.
Yes, very
di
nice
ba?
talaga dito.
Yeah.
Most of the guests that
Yeah.
comes here,
Yeah.
they're always amazed with
No,
ano,
honestly,
yeah.
I like
The
it. The
lights.
lights, the color.
O, diba? Para tayo nasa ibang bansa.
Well, Bernard is the shit. So,
Don't worry.
yeah,
wala
yeah,
ka.
yeah.
So now, ano bang nag-i-inspire sa'yo doing photography right now? Kasi
What-
yan yung passion mo ngayon eh.
Yes.
When I see you and with the camera, lagi po nakaganyan yan eh. And he would always tell me, sino yung mga na-take niyang pictures? Kasi yung iba po, extraordinary. Hindi lang po talaga parang, kagaya naming normal.
Well, everyone has their own story.
Yes.
Some are, di ba? They have their story, more interesting, I guess, from the rest.
Uh-huh.
But for me, everyone is. I would shoot almost everyone.
Ano ba yung parang medyo challenging sa'yo pag nagkukuha ka ng challenging na...
Yeah. Sometimes I come across, some subjects that are, I don't know, I can't find where to grab, his or her angle or something. Because I don't know, when I shoot, I kind of like, I don't know, maybe I have the eye, and when I'm shooting you, I kind of like know that, you're gonna look amazing with my lens, with my setting, and already when you look at it, you don't need to.
Napapaganda mo
No
eh.
Photoshop needed, right?
Yes, napapaganda mo eh.
Thank you.
What about yung mga hindi ka sexihan kagaya ko? Napapa-sexy mo rin ba?
Yes, right. I know. Special request. Well, okay. By the way, like women, everyone is fat. Sorry. Even the thinnest girl would say, "I'm so fat."
Oo nga.
So when
Is it a confidence ba namin or parang very conscious lang kami even though na we don't see, I mean, yung iba yung tingin namin
yes,
eh.
I think I noticed that. Yeah, we perceive ourselves so much different from others.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're too critical of
Ourselves.
ourselves. And I've known amazingly looking people. Any angle, they look amazing, but yet, they think, "Oh, I look like crap."
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. there's
Even
peop-
yung mga client mo na model na rin,
Yeah.
they still conscious,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I know.
So what do you tell your client pag gano'n na? Like, you're having a hard time because they cannot, because they
Oh.
have to
No,
act
actually, yeah. Before it was like torture, but I'll get there. I'll get the shots. Right. Nowadays, it's just a matter of minutes, and then for some reason, I'll get them. I'll get their representation. And yeah, and they will like them too.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but there's always like a few minutes when I go on a session where it's like the warm up session.
They need to be comfortable with you
Yeah.
eh. Even me, di ba? Kahit na
Yeah.
I already know you,
Yeah.
every time we do a shoot, aarte,
Right?
ang hirap pa eh.
Exactly.
Oo.
Exactamento. Like for
Yeah.
example, I have my camera and then I'm shooting you. I'm telling you, "Oh, try this, try that," right? And then there are times when I would hand the camera to them, "Shoot me," and then I would freeze. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yes, that's
I'm
true.
like, yeah, I go stupid, like, oh shit. And then who am I to talk, right? So when I'm shooting, but after a while, I kind of like,
Gets ano na talaga
yeah,
comfortable.
or yeah, and then they get
Yes.
comfortable, and the next thing you know, it's you're just getting it, the shots, and it's crazy.
It's crazy and
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Rich, crazy, and beautiful.
No, I'm happy that because I went through a phase when I was just starting and I didn't really know a lot. That when I'm like composition, for example, when I'm shooting, like why did it look boring or something?
Oo.
I didn't know how to frame things and all that.
Pero di ba you also have clients na some semi-nude,
Yeah,
may nude.
yeah,
So,
that's my favorite.
is that your favorite
No,
Christmas?
it's I love it. I mean, no
Hindi
denying.
kasi
Yeah.
you like it not because na you see
Yeah, I
yung
know.
body parts,
Oh.
but it's the art.
Yes.
That's what you always tell
Yeah,
me,
right.
but
No,
I
I
still
know.
don't have the
Yeah, I know.
confidence.
I know. No, actually, to be honest, for the first, I would say 30 seconds or I don't know,
Yeah.
very short time, they unrobe, I see them right
Yeah.
there. And I'm like, wow. And I kind of like pinch myself, like, she trusts me to shoot her naked.
Yeah.
Thank you, right? You always have to say thank you. It's
Ah,
polite.
politely.
So it's rude if you don't say thank you, right? But and then I would enjoy that for the first few seconds, and then after that, I'm just shooting away, and
Top the best angle,
it's
the best
not
light, and
it's
natural.
not the body well, still the body, but I kind of like, I don't know whether I'm happy about that feeling because I kind of like lose of the appreciation for the nakedness sometimes because it's all like it's the artsy fartsy
Yeah.
kicking in, and I'm just shooting away, and they're looking amazing sometimes. Well, a lot of times. But yeah, I lose that. Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, so there was a time when I my mother is also an artist, and she used to paint and do sculptures, and she got commissioned to do the Playboy models in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
So she would go to the Playboy Club, and then they would have like 5 naked girls, and my mom would do charcoal or paint, and she'd take me along, right? So I would like sit there, like I
Also,
want,
you've been exposed since a
yeah,
young age.
and I'm eating my cake, because there's always snacks, and I'm thinking, are they gonna ever fall off?
Maybe that's why you went to this path.
Well,
You're
I
already
think I got it from
seeing
my
like
mom
the
too.
arts,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
arts.
yeah.
It's not like
Yeah,
seeing. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So what can you give advice to other people to, na parang nahihiya pa rin sila, and then parang they wanted to have the best shot nung nila
Oh,
whenever you do the photography.
yeah.
So what can you give advice to those people?
I mean, a lot of times when I shoot, I just
Because they expect, like me, I expect to have a nice, diba? A
well, I
nice
have to,
photo. But
right?
then
Okay,
if I
but
don't really,
there's also like where we can only do so much.
yeah,
So sometimes people might over expect, like, oh, I'm gonna look like, whatever,
yeah,
with my camera. But I can go a long way actually, without editing. But yes, of course, I can only do so much. But a lot of times, they're happy.
uh-huh,
You know, I would come across one or two, not many. Actually, I'm very fortunate in that, in that department.
nice.
Yeah.
So what are the projects that are you working on right now? Because
Yeah.
like what I mentioned, all your work
Yeah.
is being recognized
Oh, really?
on OC
Yeah.
magazine. I saw
I know,
that,
right?
and other ano pa, diba?
Yeah.
May mga article
Yeah.
pa. So what other projects looking
Actually,
2022?
oh, no, I'm still doing the same, because I get a lot. I would get invited to come down to some fashion show, for example. And there's also those dance events that I think we went one time.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yes.
So, events like that, I still get, all sorts. I'll get a party event.
So you don't have a specific
No.
that you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. Weekends.
It's a daily thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So, and it's good because it's picking up. I'm getting more regular calls, or my calendar is kind of full. Which is good. Um, and then if days when I got no booking, I still shoot. I would grab a model, like come,
Yes.
let's do this. Let's do
Uh-huh.
like this weekend. I'm thinking I want to do Little Red Riding Hood in the snow,
Uh-huh.
and because this model I shoot with regularly lately, she has a red head,
Uh-huh.
Ukrainian girl, and she's amazing. And then she likes being naked. She don't care. Right? And we're gonna do like crazy sexy.
Oh, so you're doing that Red Riding Hood?
Yeah,
Wow.
probably just with that. She's making up a cool red, of course,
Nice,
hoodie,
nice, nice.
and then she probably be running around the snow half naked or whatnot. But it's gonna be red, black,
Yeah, and white
white.
because it's
That's
snow.
yeah.
Nice.
So those things. Sometimes I think of something like, I want to do that.
You want to
know?
be like
Yeah.
imaginative. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be pangkaraniwan, right?
Pero bakit ibang mga lahi ngayon ng ano mo ha?
Actually,
Doon ka, hindi, mga referral na lang to, di ba?
yeah, but
Mostly referrals yan siya.
I know. I don't know. Well, I guess in upbringing ko in Hong Kong, growing up, I didn't have many Pinoy friends there. They were mostly Europeans, mga anak ng mga expats. French. Aussies. So you get to do. I enjoyed that growing up in Hong Kong. Dahil it fed my hunger for culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, iba't ibang culture.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that, and I took it with me, and then I'm here.
Yes.
So I'm always interested to work with with other people, not just us Pinoys.
Yeah.
I got nothing against Pinoys,
Yes,
but
yes.
and also it just so happened that
Yeah, because I am Pinoy and
Yeah.
you've been actually for
Right? Yeah.
4 years
Yeah.
now. Well, it's nice knowing
Diba?
a different side of
Yes.
Apollo Reyes.
Yes.
I only know him as a photographer, but I saw him on YouTube
Oh, did you?
dancing. Diba? He
Oh
was
my
a
God.
dancer. And,
I know, right?
I vouch for him. He's very good, very professional.
Yeah.
Pinapagalitan po niya ako pag nalilate ako. And one time I missed
She flaked. She
one.
flaked on me.
She flaked on me and she said, "You
How
better,
dare you?
yeah, pay deposit."
Right?
I was like, "Yes,"
You know,
which
this
is
this is
I
what happened.
apologize, and I got apologized.
I know. Right? I know.
Yeah,
Of
right.
course. I know your album came out like crazy beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I know. Look at
Yes,
you.
and we have a photo shoot also
Right?
next week, diba?
No, my camera loves you. I love you.
I love you too, you know
Right?
that, and I'm always here for you. And it's Christmas,
It's
you
all
know.
about love.
Oh,
Throw
yeah.
love out.
Yes.
And if they don't throw it back, it's fine.
Oh,
And you can
yeah.
sleep at night. Diba? Because you just gave love.
Yes,
So if they don't return it, it's fine.
That's
Me,
true.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too. More power
Diba?
to you, more
Yes.
success. And I've been seeing great things coming to
I
you.
know.
And
Thank you.
especially, di ba, with Diren, di ba? She was
Oh, yeah.
amazed with the pictures.
Really?
And she even told me that she
Yeah.
met two good friends.
Right? Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
because
Oh,
you
yeah.
have you're very kind. You have this spirit that
Uh-huh.
lift up, 'di ba?
Really?
Oh.
I'm glad to know.
'Di
No,
ba? Ikaw ang kausap ko nung ano.
right? I
'Di
know.
ba? Our favorite hangout is Yard House.
I know, right?
We talk
Yard House.
about
Everything, no?
everything and anything.
I'm such a girl.
And he would tell me like,
Yeah.
nah.
All right.
But-
I'm always the girl. I hang around with a lot of girls, and I find myself being just one of the girls.
Of the
They're like
girls.
talking about girl talking. I'm like,
But it's
okay.
fun, 'di ba?
Oh yeah,
It's fun.
Yeah, I understand.
You understand. You're just taking advantage of those people.
No.
No, I was just kidding.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess I'm a people person. I like hanging around with people.
I understand.
I enjoy it when I'm shooting. You know,
Yes.
there's always a story to and everyone's got their own story.
Yes.
So when you're talking and it's always interesting, right? And I look at those things. I think about those things, and I incorporate sometimes that thought when I'm shooting you.
Yes.
So
Tsaka you're like a big brother to me.
I'm always the
You,
brother.
you don't only make me beautiful, but
I'm
you're
always the
also
brother.
Yeah, a brother.
You know.
Any other things that you wanted to share our viewers before we end our Christmas special?
Oh, not what do I have to share? Actually, every day I'm sharing my work out there on my Facebook or on my Instagram. Just follow me, and
Or message Apollo if you
yes.
needed a sample of the.
yes, or text me. I'm easy, I'm very easy, and then I'll work around it. If you sometimes you're gonna say, oh, how much is this and that?
Yeah, he can work with.
Or sometimes I would say, do you have a budget? If they have a budget,
Yeah.
even better, a lot easier,
Yeah.
Because if I give my rate sometimes, because they don't do this every
Yes,
year, or
yes.
sometimes it's a treat to their family, so
Yes.
they have no clue.
Yeah, or no budget.
Yeah.
Or,
So when I
yes.
get, when I say, okay, how many of you, there's a lot of numbers, that I try and consider, and then I will say, okay, maybe this is a good rate or something, and I'm like, oh, it's either that or okay, no problem.
Yes, but it's all.
You'll never know.
Yes, okay.
So sometimes I would rather, okay, do you have a budget? And they say, and it's over my budget. Thank you. Let's do this.
Yeah, I
Right?
love it.
Yeah.
So get Apollo-nized with Apollo Reyes. And
Yes.
thank you again, my friend.
Oh my God.
Apollo Reyes, thank you for coming
Wendy
here.
Lindo.
For coming here.
Wendy.
And thank you for being a friend, being a good sport,
know,
and
right?
being, a brother to many of us.
I know. Thank you.
We love you.
I love you
And
so
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Thank you for having me. This
Of
is amazing. I
course.
want to do this every week.
Let's do that. Again, thank you to all my
Right.
TVC viewers, and don't forget to watch our interview. It's going to be coming soon. I have a 12 days of Christmas. So every day we'll be showing different guests, and you will learn a lot of nuggets from them. And of course, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, The Wendy Linda Show, and on Facebook, The Wendy Linda Show.